Hi, I'm Steve Melenda, Senior Director of Global Marketing at ESAB. I'm fired up to kick off ESAB SparkWeek with you, our loyalists around the world. ESAB isn't a brand for the ordinary, it's for those who dare to be different. ESAB SparkWeek celebrates trendsetters and innovators coming together to blaze a new trail. And you, joining us right here, right now, proves you're just that. Welcome to day one of SparkWeek. For the next 5 days, my good friend, fabricator, off-road expert, and ESAB enthusiast Ian Johnson will help unveil more than a dozen new revolutionary products and deliver some exciting news that will usher welding and cutting into a new age. These are all ESAB reveals you don't want to miss. So get ready, get comfortable. It's going to be a jam-packed week, and it all starts right now.
Thanks for that, Steve. As you know, ESAB is a brand near and dear to my fabrication-loving heart. So I'm thrilled to spend the week with all of you announcing these killer new products. Come back each day for the latest drop and check the webpage for news on our SparkWeek giveaways. The bonus of an event like this, if you have any questions on anything that you see live, you can ask away in the chat. Now let's get to the good stuff. And today, that's portable welding. Our first feature takes us back to 2017. That's when ESAB launched a welder that revolutionized industrial design and performance. It even won a Red Dot Design Award for the extreme toughness and portability this baby gives industrial welders on the go. It was the most compact and lightweight machine in its class, and it's built to take a beating. It's a true powerhouse for the true pro, but it's only been available as a 3-phase machine. What if you get to a job site and only have access to single-phase power, 120 or 230? Well, let me introduce you to the Renegade single-phase lineup for stick and TIG welding. You said you needed a machine compatible with single-phase, 120 or 230 power, and ESAB heard you loud and clear. So now, say goodbye to worrying about what kind of power will be available on a site. This machine is extremely lightweight and portable, and with multiple handles and a comfortable carrying strap to sling Renegade right over your shoulder, you'll forget it's there as you trek up 10, 11, 12 flights of stairs. Once you get to your job, you can simply plug it in and get welding. But let's hear more from an expert. I am here with Bartosz Kutarba, product manager, and he is going to tell us how this compact, convenient, compatible machine came to be. Now tell me, why did you decide to offer this machine in single phase?
So the single phase is one of the most common type of voltage input that you meet on the field. So it was very natural for us to offer the latest inverter technology with that great housing, which is really appreciated in the market.
So tell us, how has Renegade been designed to tackle even the toughest environment?
So first of all, it has been designed and built from the impact-resistant material that is able to be thrown away or fall down in the field applications and still operating without any issues. It is fully IP23, so it can operate even in the rain, outside. And it has been designed with those 3 handles, so that is super portable. And we have that special cable management system built in those handles, so if you need to carry that equipment somewhere, then you just wrap around with that special strap and you go on.
Because if there's one thing I've learned is welders are very gentle with their equipment.
Very much.
So it's compact, it's durable, it can handle the abuse. Which type of welder is going to be using this machine in the field?
So the welders that will be using outside due to design of the housing for sure, like construction sites, but also due to the high arc quality and pulsing frequencies, it might be used in the petrochemical applications, food and bev, and where the high purity of the welds is needed.
So this machine rated at 210 amps, but you mentioned the arc quality. So let's talk a little bit about how stable is that arc on the floor. So how low can we go with this machine? And then with 210 amps, there's really no limit to what we can weld with this, right?
Exactly. So with a 210 amps, you can cover the vast majority of applications, and you can have several passes. Then you cover really thick plates. But also the great capability is that you can weld super thin plates with adjustable frequency here, because you can go from a super low, like 0.5 hertz, up to 999, which can really control the heat input in the way that you need in the application.
We've talked about portability, the power, the strength, the durability, but what's really different on the front of this is it now has like an advanced user interface, so a whole new look to the front of the machine, right?
Correct. So this is a very much new thing for us. It has been designed with sun-friendly technology, so you can operate outside in the sun conditions and you still see whatever you're adjusting on the screen. But the way it has been designed is very much user-friendly. So you get to the parameters which you would like to select very fast. And you can choose between the basic and advanced options on the screen. So depending on your preference, you can see adjusted parameters or just main welding current. And we do have a lot of adjustable options there. Whatever is needed in the TIG, starting from the sequencer, the pulsing, frequencies, and so on, everything is shown in a visual way, so the welder can really understand what he's selecting and what effect it will bring in the arc. We have also some jobs which you can recall from the trigger, so many options we managed to put in there just because we use the big screen technology.
Is this like the other welders where I can set like either a basic or advanced parameter in there?
Correct.
So if I loan it to somebody, I can set it to basic and they don't mess up my settings?
You can.
That's what I like to do. We've covered all the parameters, basically the amazing screen in the front. It's definitely a beast of a welder. When are people going to be able to get their hands on one of these machines?
So we expect the machine to arrive to market early 2023.
Thank you very much, Bartosz. Well, there you go. Go with Renegade. No more power surprises when you show up on the job site. You'll be packing all the power and performance that you need to tackle any job. One down, there's obviously so much more. 2 years ago, ESAB launched a line of new machines that defied all rules when it came to stick and TIG performance and portability at its price point. And it quickly became one of ESAB's top sellers around the world. Top to bottom, this line was built to outclass everything that came before it in its category. But stick and TIG weren't enough. ESAB is now going even more rogue. Introducing the rule-defying Rogue MIG and multi-process machine. I'm here with Mike Salmon's product manager. We're going to be talking about the Rogue MIG and multi-process machines. Now, the Rogue name is not new to ESAB. It's been around for a while. But what is new about these EM and EMP machines?
So with the Rogue family, we've introduced the multi-process and MIG variants of the machine, ranging from 125 amps to 210 amps with a 25% duty cycle.
So that's some big news, but let's talk a little bit about some of the bells and whistles that are in this particular machine.
Yeah, so this is a full-featured power splice that have all the unique features from creep start to pre-flow to post-flow to burn back, arc dynamics, arc force, hot start, so it's a pretty complete product.
That's the beauty of the multi-process machine, because if it's your first welder, it's not just a TIG welder, it's everything in one.
Correct. So you get DC, TIG, stick, including 6010, and MIG and flux core and synergic lines.
What is a synergic line?
So a synergic line allows you to select your wire, gas, and material type, and you can go from the minimum of the power supply all the way to the maximum of the power supply with a single knob control.
So you're just telling the machine what you're welding with what gas, and its synergic line will decide what how it's gonna put it out.
Yep.
So it's an incredibly smart machine as well.
Correct.
So we talked about this being a great entry-level machine, but this obviously, I look at it, it's portable, so this would be a great machine for someone just to add to their arsenal of ESAB equipment they're gonna have. Why would someone add this to their collection of black and yellow machines?
So again, it's a feature set, it's usability, it's flexibility, and you can start at the bottom or you can start at the top to enhance your fleet.
Let's start with the screen. Let's talk about what's a user gonna have on that screen?
So the screen is a TFT, a 5-inch display which multicolor, which gives you a great contrast and ability to visualize where you want to go with the process. So we can do synergic, we have our settings, we have our multiple languages, up to 29 for those that are around the world. On the TFT, we have multiple tiles, we call them tiles. You can select a menu and you can select your process, whether it's synergic, manual, MIG, stick, lift arc, TIG. So I can select my settings, which can be languages, unit of measure, remote current level, those kind of things.
And is this similar to the other machines that have these TFT displays? Do I have all the information about the machine in there as well? Is the manual in there, all that kind of stuff as well?
Yes.
So for parts, I find it most useful when I'm shopping for tips or nozzles or anything, and the fact that it's right there on the screen.
Yes, everything will be included in the machine. It gives you recommended filler metals as well. Gives you the QR code to go to the manuals. So yes, everything is in the machine.
And then inside the box, it's got, what size spool are we running inside here?
It'll run up to a 200 mil or an 8-inch spool.
And then drive rolls. How big of a wire can I feed through this machine?
023 through 035 hardwire, and then up to 1.2 or 045 flux core.
Flux core. So they're going to land, where are they going to land price point wise in picking up this machine? Is this going to be like over $2,000 or somewhere in that neighborhood?
So again, depending upon if we're talking the entry level machine, which is 125 amps, or we're talking about the 210 multi-process, you're going to be sub $2,000.
So for under $2,000, that entry-level welder is going to be able to snap up one of these, sign up for a college welding course, and before they know it, they're just like stacking dollar bills in the back of their welding rig.
Absolutely.
That's what I would be doing with it. Thank you very much, Mike. Look to see Rogue, MIG, and multi-process units hitting the shelves early 2023. I can't wait to get my hands on one of these and start gluing some metal together in my shop. How about one more? And we just may have saved the best for last. Today's final product reveal is one we know you've been waiting for. How? Because ESAB enthusiasts have been asking us if we have this kind of machine for quite some time. Our answer has always been the same: no, because we're waiting to build the best, because this is ESAB. The outdoor welding category is as old as welding itself. You could even say ESAB helped invent it way back in 1904 when the first coated electrode was introduced for welding ships up in Sweden. So no one knows the process or demands of outdoor stick welding better than ESAB. This one's definitely going to change the game out there. This new machine will let welders go further off the grid because ESAB didn't want to enter with just some mediocre copycat product. We wanted to do this right and develop a machine that delivers more for the welder. So finally, yes, we have a yellow machine that's not only made to run wild, it's made to perform better than any other. I present ESAB's all-new engine-driven welder, Ruffian.
No matter where a job takes you, a smooth arc and superior performance should never be sacrificed. Introducing Ruffian ES150G by ESAB, the engine-driven stick welding machine bred to run beyond the sunset, so you can truly run wild. Built with a premium Kohler engine, this compact beast packs an unbridled performance of 60% duty cycle at 150 amps, making it feel more like an animal than a machine, without the grisly growl, of course. And talk about all-day power. Ruffian can not only run multiple tools at once, but it can rev up the power independently. The machine's compatible with all the tools you need. So every job from a water line as wide as the prairies to high up in a concrete jungle just got easier. What else comes naturally? The ability to trek across tough terrain with rugged wheels, mindful ergonomics, and lightweight portability. And its intuition. It has a smarter user interface for advanced control over arc parameters and a screen that rivals the moonlight. With all this power, versatility, portability, and intuition, ESAB didn't just make any old run-of-the-mill engine-driven welder. Oh no, we've made the best damn one you'll ever lay your work gloves on. Now get ready to run wild with engine-driven welding at esab.com/Ruffian.
ESAB is proudly expanding into the engine-driven welder market with a machine tough enough to carry the name Ruffian. Built with the welding DNA of our Rogue lineup, ESAB's all-new engine-driven stick welder is already claiming the title as the best and is made to truly run wild for those working out in the field. I'm here with product manager Chris Sherm, one of the masterminds behind the Ruffian, and this is like all new, right? This is a whole new world of
brand new world. Brand new world for ESAB.
Let's talk a little bit about what makes this thing so cool, because I'm not used to seeing engines and welders combined in this black and yellow package.
Yeah, so what's exciting, we started with two technologies that are world-class in their own. So the Kohler Pro engine, very reliable, and the Rogue, which is an award-winning MMA machine that we've already launched. So with those two technologies, we combined also a lot of customer-driven features into the machine, and we've created quite a machine here.
And this is engine-driven welder, generator,
all in one. So you can run light kits, grinders, welders off of the output power, but it also has a built-in welder built right into the machine.
And this is, and probably the biggest news there is it's not like one or the other, right?
It's independent power.
Yes.
So you don't have to like run the welder only at maximum in order to get output power. You can run the welder throughout its full range as well as the output power simultaneously up to the 4,000 continuous watts that it offers.
So you said 4 kilowatts, 4,000 watts of power on the generator side. Let's talk a little bit about that. What am I going to be able to power with that? And then let's talk about the welder itself, because it's an independent. So how many amps is it, and what are we able to stop?
150 amps of output power on the welder that's built into the unit. Of course, you could plug in another welder and run, say, another 332nd electrode while you run a 332nd electrode off of this, two welders, same time. So as long as you're not exceeding 4,000 watts, it's up to you. It will do up to 4,500 watt peak too, so that when you strike the arc and those jolts that happen, it's going to be able to handle that.
So that's power. Obviously, it has wheels and like wheelbarrow-y handles here.
Tons of portability. We did a lot of customer-driven features. So the size of the wheels is one, the ergonomics of the handles to the wheel ratio, so it's easy to tote around, push around. We also added these lower lifting bars for team lifting, and then we have an optional lifting bar for if you're on a job site that requires like forklift or crane, you can add that as well.
How much does it weigh?
269 pounds.
I could lift that by myself.
Yes,
could you?
could. Yes, almost.
Totally
Not quite as much as you can.
As long as nobody was watching, it would end up in the back of my truck.
You and I could do it together.
Yeah, I think so.
You want to do it?
Let's go for it. Ready?
You ready?
Yeah.
You ready? You ready?
Where are we going with it?
Come on, let's go.
No, I'm getting up. Now, you guys, ESAB's making a big claim about this being the baddest engine-driven welder package available for you, obviously from you guys, because it's one of the first ones, right? So let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk about what makes this so special.
With the technologies that we put in for reliability and robustness, that's really what we focused on first. Secondly, we looked at what do customers really want. We did about a year and a half's worth of customer interviews and voice of the customer driven features and benefits that we wanted to pack in here. The biggest one is the independent power. The fact that you can run light kits and grinders at the same time that you're welding. It's not going to affect each other. As long as you're not exceeding the power, you're good to go.
And so who is the person that's buying this? I mean, I look at this and, I think, it'd be great to have, I could take it to my pits when I'm racing, but this is like, this is like Farm 101 right here, right?
Absolutely. We have a ton of those. Now that you've seen this, you're going to see engine-driven welders everywhere. I see them now in my sleep, right? So you'll see them on the end of work trucks. Contractors do this a lot. Electrical contractors, job site contractors, farm and ranch, huge. DIYers at the home. They're going to be either running their MIG welder off the front or a stick welder off the machine. You can really do a wide variety of things.
And we're talking a lot about like work, job site type of stuff, but probably the other benefit to me, as I see, is you've got just having this at your house as an optional generator.
You can run all sorts of things. It has both the 220 and 110 outlets on the front, 4 110 outlets actually. So if you needed to run a refrigerator or you needed to run a microwave, I mean, it can do that from an emergency power standpoint.
ESAB's making a huge claim saying that this is the best engine drive welder out there, and it's brand new for you guys. So let's talk a little bit about what makes this the best package for somebody.
Yeah, we didn't want to come to market with just another engine drive. We really wanted to take products that we know are robust and reliable, like the Kohler Pro engine, like the Rogue 180 that's built into the machine. We wanted to take those things, but then combine it with customer-driven features that we know matter to them, or that we didn't know matter to them, but through the customer experience, through end user experiences, they could come and say, hey, we really need this. We need independent power. You don't have independent power? No, we need it. Okay, well, let's figure out how to add it. So we did that. Add independent power, add the ability to roll it around easily and not knock your knees, right? So mindful ergonomics. It's things like that that really matter to the end user. That's why we can make that kind of claim.
All right, Sherm, so we've talked about this machine, obviously, you know, portability, size being 4,000 watts, great for a farm ranch. But when I think engine drives, I think like big machines on the back of dually pickup trucks, guys who wear the beanies out to dinner, you know, the whole deal. So, but is that where we're going with this engine drive stuff?
We can't let all the secrets out today, but Ruffian's intended to be a family name.
The question everyone's going to want to know is when and where can they get their hands on a Ruffian?
Now. They're available at Northern Tool as well as welding distributors around the country.
So you just go in and say, I want this machine, and
now.
order it.
Yeah, get it for me.
Yeah, you're going to want one. I think I want one. Yeah. Sherm, thank you so much for showing us this machine here today. You heard it here first. ESAB has entered the engine drive arena. Y'all are in trouble. And that's a wrap on day one of Spark Week. Thanks for tuning in as we revealed Renegade's first single-phase lineup, Rogue's new MIG and multi-process machines, and Ruffian, ESAB's game-changing new engine-driven welder. These machines are portable welding powerhouses designed so you always have the best by your side, no matter where you go. Keep challenging the ordinary. We'll see you back here tomorrow when we'll be revealing more and expanding on how ESAB is continuing to light up the industry. Don't forget to check back on our website for a chance to enter our Spark Week giveaway. That's all from day one of Spark Week. Day two is all about high tech. We're talking automation and digitization. You won't want to miss it. See you soon.